Hey everybody, Sam Crowley. Welcome to the Daily Splash on Saturday. Isn't every day Saturday though? I mean, come on, isn't that where we're at? So hey, would love to give an update that I figured out the riding mower issue. Haven't figured it out yet, but just like I'm teaching inside here every single day, you got to have a what? What do you got to have? You got to have a willingness to find out, stay committed, get it done, get the task done, whatever that looks like to you, and you got to have a sense of urgency. You know what I mean? There has to be a sense of urgency. So my sense of urgency is it's 80 degrees today here in Cincinnati, which is crazy, which is awesome, by the way. It's May 2nd, awesome. And my lawn is this high because I haven't mowed it, but it's been raining, and you know what that's like this time of year. It's growing. So I'm the guy on the main drag here with the ugly lawn. I got a perfectly good riding mower that just can't cut grass. So I'm going to take you through what you need to do when you want to solve a problem. And I'm just assuming there's nobody that can help me, which I think I'm probably right. There's nobody that can help me. I can ask for advice online, but I've been spending a lot of time on Google. And here's where I found out. Last night, I went, and I'm teaching all this stuff because this is how you build a business as well. This is how you build anything, how you build a relationship, anything. Find the flaws, find the things that aren't working, fix them, So I wanted to rule out, is it electrical or is it fuel related? So I changed the battery yesterday. I think I told you that on yesterday's Daily Splash. By the way, welcome to the Daily Splash, everybody. And then new battery didn't do the trick. Last night I bought new spark plugs, and I'm taking out probably 80% of the story because I had to go back and forth to Lowe's, back and forth because I kept getting the wrong stuff. Didn't have a socket set, had to buy a socket set just to get the spark plugs out, put them in wrong, snapped one of them, had to go back, all that stuff. Got up at 4:30 this morning. I like to watch 2 to 3 hours of training every morning. So that's what I do. I get online. I'm learning a lot about search engine optimization and digital content and marketing, all that stuff. So I probably invest 2 to 3 hours early in the morning. So around 7 a.m., I left and I went to Lowe's, and I had to get the spark plugs, got them in. That wasn't the trick. So I went to the auto supply store. Never been in there before. And he told me to go to some John Deere dealer half hour away. Went there, got an air filter, got a new fuel pump, and got a new fuel filter. So I just installed the fuel pump, and I thought this was going to be an amazing training today because I fixed it, but it's not working. The fuel pump is still, it's on now. The new one's there. It's not working. So I haven't put the fuel filter in yet. The next step is the carburetor, so I'm going to be out about $200. I'm probably out. I haven't bought a carburetor yet, but I'm probably, and by the way, I have no idea what I'm even talking about because I'm not a small engine repair guy. I'm the least handiest person you're ever going to meet in your life. My wife would literally hire probably somebody to change a light bulb if she could, And so I have no handyman skills whatsoever. I have no ability to fix anything. And that's kind of my frame of reference, but I don't care. I'm going to figure this thing out. Everything is figure-outable. Okay, so here I am without a working riding mower. I've got a huge sense of urgency to get this thing fixed. I've got no real knowledge, but I've gained so much. Here's the good news. I've replaced the battery, replaced the spark plugs, replaced the fuel filter, about to replace the fuel filter, already changed the fuel pump. All of this stuff I'm telling you because now I know how to take this thing apart and put it back together. At least I feel that way. At least now I know also that if I pay somebody to do work on this riding mower, I'm not going to get taken for advantage of, and I'm not going to get taken for a ride because I can at least manage the job. Like if somebody tells me, hey, you need a new fuel pump, it's going to cost $150 to replace it, I'm going to be like, up yours, there's no way because it's cost $12 at the John Deere store, and it's not worth $150. So I tell you this stuff because when you go build out your own digital content online especially, or any business for that matter, you got to know how it runs. You got to know how much things cost. You got to know, hey, and look, I've given someone $1,000 before just to put one page on WordPress because I didn't want to deal with it, and it was indexing all my podcasts. So I knew it wasn't worth that. I knew I could get it done for $200 if I wanted to shop it around, but I wanted it done that day, and I knew the guy could get it done right. So I threw him $1,000. It all depends on what your perceived value is. What your perception of the value is. It doesn't matter. There's no value is a subjective term. I mean, I don't know, unless you're going out, something that's a commodity has no value because you can buy it anywhere. You know what I mean? Like if you go to Home Depot and you buy a lawnmower, you can get one, self-propelled for $400. Well, you can go to any Lowe's or Menards or anywhere and get a lawnmower for $400. But when you're talking about skill, that's different. People will pay you based on the value that you're going to bring to them. And you got to understand this really important concept. And I think this is what you really got to get today on today's Daily Splash is, are you being paid for the service that you deliver, or are you being paid for the 20 years of knowledge that it took you to deliver that service? Because if you are paid in a situation where, I'm trying to think of an example. Well, let's just use a WordPress. Let's say a funnel, for example. Let's say you paid me $2,000 to build you a funnel, a landing page, a thank you page, it connected your autoresponder, your lead magnet, and all that good stuff. And I said, hey, it's $2,000. And you were like, yeah, but I could do it, or I could have someone else do it. My first response would be, okay, have somebody else do it, because you never want to get into a price war. There's only going to be one cheapest out there. There's only one person who can be the cheapest, the least expensive. Everybody else is fighting for second, third, fourth, fifth place, and it's just a race to the bottom. And at that point, you're sacrificing quality. But you wouldn't be paying me to develop your podcast or develop your funnel or develop your message. You'd be like, hey, Sam, why did it cost me $10,000 for you to help me develop my message? Well, because it took me 15 years to learn how to do it. You're not paying for the 2 months it took. You're paying for the 15 to 20 years it took to learn the skill. And that's what you need to understand as well. You're not being paid for the hour of your time. You're being paid for the 10 years that it took you to learn that one thing to do really, really well. And the amount of time that they're saving by not having to go through all of the same failure and all those different hoops that you had to jump through, And there's a lot to be said to that, man. I mean, if you just think about the value that you bring and all the years that it took you to learn that knowledge and to gain that skill, you're not charging for the hour or two or the day or the week that it takes you to deliver that value to somebody else. You're charging for the 10 to 20 years for you to gain that knowledge. And until you understand that concept, you're always going to be thinking, well, geez, I mean, should I charge by the hour? No. I mean, poor people sell their time. Rich people buy their time. They buy their time. Like, you outsource a lot of stuff. But you got to learn it first so you know you're not getting taken for a ride. But once you learn how to do it, it's like when somebody buys a car dealership here in the U.S., you have to learn how to run the parts department, the repair, service and repair. You got to spend time on the floor in sales. I mean, a Ford dealership, I know a buddy of mine that runs a Ford dealership here in Cincinnati. Before he took it over, he had to learn every facet of the building and go to school for it, because Ford isn't going to give you a dealership if you don't know how the parts department runs or the service department runs. So though you don't need to have tech skills, for example, like we were talking about yesterday, you need to have a basic working knowledge of this stuff. And you can easily say, if you have enough money, then you can buy enough time. I'm not saying if you've got a lot of money, then you can buy all your time and you can just outsource everything. Like, if money doesn't matter to you and you're like, I don't give a crap, I'll pay you $10,000, build my 3-page WordPress site, I just want it done, I don't even care how much it costs, then that's a whole different ballgame. I'm talking about when you start building out some sort of digital platform, or any kind of platform for that matter, and you want to make sure that somebody that you're dealing with, and you're doing a joint venture with somebody, that they don't end up taking too much, or you don't end up taking too little, and things like that. You know what I mean? So this whole riding mower thing has been wild. It's been an amazing learning experience. It's been extremely frustrating. But I know I'm going to look back after. I don't even know if the thing's going to run and if it's going to rain tomorrow. So I've got this window closing, and that's that sense of urgency that you need. There's a window closing on every opportunity out there. I think right now in this pandemic economy where everybody is consuming digital content and has been for the last 6 weeks, you have got to have digital content out there. If you are any kind of coach, consultant, information marketer, anything at all, you have got to have digital content out there being consumed. So, I mean, the amount of people consuming content, I see it. I see it in my metrics every single day. The amount of people that are streaming my videos and my podcasts, it's higher than it's ever been. And the window's going to close. And it's not like people are going to go off the internet. It's just that this huge window, it's like holding a cup underneath Niagara Falls right now if you want to have your content consumed online. So my advice to you is to get going. You don't got to get it right. You just got to get it going. So it doesn't matter if your audio sounds great quality or your video is great quality or you're doing a Facebook Live and it looks like a TV studio. None of that matters. What matters is you get going, because this opportunity right now and it's not going away anytime soon. People are going to continue. They built the habit over the past 6 weeks to consume massive amounts of content. they're now trained to consume a lot of this content, and they found some favorite. I know I found some favorite websites. You found some favorite pages on social media now that you're probably going to visit. Hopefully this is one of them. Leave a comment as well. Let us know what type of content you want to see inside the Daily Splash, and you're going to keep coming back. And other people are going to keep coming back to your pages as well, because now you've put that out there. Like, oh, so-and-so has a page. That's awesome. That's great, So I think it's really critically important, okay? It's more important now than ever to make sure that you've got content out there and it's being delivered, okay? Let me just get back to the regular screen share. Had a little picture-in-picture share working there. All right, guys, that's the Daily Splash for Saturday. I want to keep it short and sweet. Update on the riding mower, but it's got nothing to do with me. Let me take a drink of water real quick, if you don't mind. It's been a long day. Already, I've been up since 4:30. I've been up 8 hours already. It has everything to do with you, okay? It has everything to do with you. Google it. Get on YouTube. You got to be a professional Googler. Like, you got to be the best Googler out there and watching hours of YouTube to figure out if there's a roadblock in something, anything right now that's causing you, whether it's mindset or whether it's tangible tactics on how to do something. It's up to you to figure it out. At least get the ball going in the right direction. You might have to pay somebody to get you there faster, and that's really why you pay people. That's why you would pay a coach. That's why you would pay a mentor. That's why you would go to Launch with Sam right there and book your call, because you know what you want to do. You just want it done a lot faster, and you want to pay someone who's already made all the mistakes. They've already lost the millions of dollars. You don't want any part of that. You know you're going to have some challenges. You know it's not going to be just road paved with roses. But you want to get there a lot faster. And that's what you sell as a coaching consultant. Look, do you want to get there? I'm going to teach you how. You want to get there faster? Work with me one-on-one or in my intimate group of individuals. You'll get there a lot faster. And that is a huge value. Like, if I could plug in right now to a John Deere riding mower group, I'd pay $500 right now. If somebody were to say, hey, you want to join our private group today and tomorrow? We'll do a webinar. We'll teach you how to take everything apart and put it back together again and fix anything. And I would pay $2,000 if they would say you'll never have an issue with your riding mower again, ever. And we'll show you how to service it yourself. You know why? Because it costs about $300 to $400 a year to have your riding mower serviced, to take it to anybody locally and have it just serviced. A tune-up. Check everything to make sure the stuff I got going on isn't happening. Wouldn't it be worth $2,000 to be able to take it apart and put it back together yourself and never have to worry about having an issue again? That's how you sell the result. That's how you become a better problem solver. And when you solve bigger problems, you get paid bigger money. You solve smaller problems, you get paid smaller money. I want to go to McDonald's and get a hamburger. That's a small problem. I'm hungry. There's 20 fast food places up the road. McDonald's is going to charge me $1 for a burger. Why can't they charge more? Because they're not solving a big problem. All I want is a burger. Anybody can make that. I can go anywhere. I can go to Wendy's. I can go to McDonald's. I can go to Steak and Shake. I can go anywhere. But if I want that steak like we had last night, the ribeyes that I got, that were $20 a pound, that's good money to pay, but it's great steak. And we had, we can't go out on a date, my wife and I, so it was kind of our coronavirus date here at the house, of course, with the kids as well, because we're all in lockdown. But you got to learn how to solve bigger problems. And it doesn't need to be life-changing problems. It just needs to be bigger than fast food. That's all. You can sell fast food, but you're only going to sell it at fast food prices. When you learn to solve bigger problems, like teaching me how to take apart and put together a John Deere mower, and I pay $1,000 or $2,000, so I never got to take it into a service place again, that's a big problem for me. What's your big problem? Let me know. What can I help you solve? What problems do you need help with? And when we work together, if I can help you solve them, I will. And that'll be it. That'll be the end of that problem. You'll never have that problem again. People hire me because they got a real big problem with messaging. They don't know what their message is. They don't know what their zone of genius is. And then when they figure out what their message is, they don't know how to monetize that message. That's why people hire me. Why would people hire you? And when you figure out that big problem that you solve, that becomes really the anchor of your business. That becomes really the flagship message of everything that you talk about. Every one of these daily splashes that we've done over the past 6 days has been talking about how to create momentum, and then how to really go with your message and how to get that message tight. And a lot of ideas around that as well. All right? So it's Saturday. Have a great rest of your day. We'll be back tomorrow at noon on the Daily Splash. Maybe a little spiritual flair to it because it is Sunday. And you guys have a great rest of your day. All right? Happy Saturday. Take care. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you tomorrow.